Yo, yet again with this bullshit narrative that somehow, some way, every ironically, I'm gonna let you hear at least part of it. I'm not gonna listen to the whole thing because it's nauseating. But you'll see what I'm talking about when I say his logic kind of trips over itself.
With a man, it's time to stop hiding behind nostalgia and bad faith arguments. Y'all love to romanticize the past, talking about how women back in the day held their men down, stayed loyal, and never left. But let's be real. Do you actually know the full story? Or are you just parroting the fairy tale version that was passed down to you? See, your grandfather's sins were swept under the rug. Your grandmother suffered in silence. And depending on when your mother came up, she probably shielded you from the ugly truth too. Y'all brag about how marriages lasted longer back then, like it was some kind of golden era of love and commitment. Nah, the real reason those marriages didn't end? Because women weren't allowed to leave, legally, financially, or socially. Put yourself in the...
Fucking stop it. Bro, when did no fault divorce come into play? When? Like 1970 something? Hold on, give me a second. No. When did no fault divorce become legal? 1969. So what generation is he fucking talking about? When? And to say, do you know the full... Nigga, do you? So the only person who knows the full story is the person with the most negative shit to say. That's the person who knows the full story. Can we keep that energy on everything else? Also, remember, I don't know if, it depends on when you were watching me, whether you saw it or not, but I covered a chick who said something a lot of other women say when it's fucking convenient. She said, oh, back in the grandparent days, mom wouldn't get with no man if he ain't had no coin. Remember that? Because her grandma ran businesses. Had this, had that. A lot of women said that, right? But aren't they also being nostalgic? Aren't they also focusing on the quote-unquote fairy tale part of the past? I'm getting really sick and tired of only the women went through shit back then. Because they just suffered in silence. So I'm guessing none of y'all heard about the cast iron skillet to the back of the head, quote-unquote jokes. Because when it's violence on a man, it's a fucking joke. Cast iron skillet to the head is a joke, but just punching her in the face, not a joke. Oh my God, how terrible. Again, when y'all do shit like this, you make the empathy, sympathy, give any type of fucks go all the way down to like negatives. Just don't care. Don't fucking care. I'm going to, like I said, I'm going to skip the rest of that and go right to the comment section because somehow... Like I said, I want to skip the rest of that, but let's think about this before I go to the comments. Somehow, some fucking how, being shielded from the truth is now our fault? So let's just say he's 100% right. All men today were just shielded from the truth. Okay, now what? What do you want to do now? You want to start over? You want to... If it's a new shit, what do you want to do now? Because I know you don't think I'm about to pay for some shit I didn't do that you shielded me from. How much sense does that make? How many, like, not even grandparent generation, parents generation. How many stories we got about calling the cops and getting them locked up? How many? Why the fuck are we still talking about that? Only when it's convenient enough to say you did wrong. Why? My grandmothers on both sides had jobs, careers. My grandparents, the guy, one was married and then one who her final baby daddy, key phrase, final baby daddy, that should tell you she wasn't locked in to one guy. Grandma on dad's side, I found out she went into her marriage with my grandfather with kids already. They both did. So what the fuck is y'all talking about? What are y'all talking about? They couldn't leave. Really? How many stories do we have in which they didn't sign the divorce papers, they both just left? But you and people like you want to keep nostalgiating on the things that are so convenient enough to make you be able to say this bullshit. The further back you go, the more society just did shit that you go and say, damn, that's fucked up. Don't just say men. They all did that shit. They all was up to no good. They all was fucking around. Like, come on now. Let's go to this comment section. And let's and before I even say that, just the honorable mention real quick. It's very, very damn, what was I about to say? I got stuck in my thought because I'm watching the Pistons game. Got stuck in my thought. Shit. I can't remember. Maybe it'll come back around, but so let's start with this first one. Grandma didn't suffer in silence. She told her daughters and granddaughters, and that's why Gen X and millennial women ran and got an education and careers. Grandma warned us. Again, I'm not sure of the percentage, but you have plenty of women who did just fine. Again, I wish I was like wasn't so lazy and I can go back and show you the videos. But so many women say no, their grandmothers had booming just like that. That's how they was running back then. They was running shit. You hear phrases like that, but nope. They was all just getting their ass whooped. That was it. That was it. Any of y'all ever saw y'all grandma scared to talk shit to y'all granddad? Like she was afraid? I'm not. That didn't show me suffering, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I read it wrong. Maybe dumb nigga is something you say to somebody who's whooping your ass. Maybe that's just what it is. And you can't leave him, which means he's definitely gonna whoop your ass for talking shit. Like, I guess that's just what you say to somebody like that, right? Got it. The whole boiling water, hot grits and all that shit. I guess that's just something you do to your abuser and then you stay. Because he sure as hell ain't gonna retaliate and kill you. Like all these movies and TV shows and documentaries we see. Just, you know. What the fuck? People always forget how many husbands disappeared after grandma built a garden or a key pile. So, being funny about killing someone, right? Right? But if your wife or whoever, baby mama, whoever, is trying to fuck up your life, oh, it's just wrong to even lay a hand on her. But killing your husband, so hilarious. And you wonder why dudes are responding the way they do to these questions. Oh, what you provide? Oh shit, nope. She got a job. Y'all wonder why these responses are like this? Do y'all actually? When I listen to these conversations, I come to an understanding that people aren't really trying to fix any problems. They're just trying to win a game. Which, this is a hell of a game to win. Because the winning side wins the dumbest prize. It's literally just this, I don't even know, it's some sort of a warfare I don't get. They call it the gender war, but it's deeper than that. And I don't think too many people understand what the fuck. Again, I keep going over it. This is not something you want to win. But fine, let's keep moving. Don't forget about the physical abuse. I've talked to many older women whose husbands mysteriously died after abusing them for years. Yeah. Repeat from last comment. Let's not forget, grandma was probably 15 when she married your 20-something grandpa. That's not as common as y'all try to make it. No, I'm not excusing that. But you're not going to keep just casually bringing that up every fucking chance you get to just make the matters worse. What relevance is that right now? What relevance? Just to pour on some shit? Just because? Okay, well, Your grandfather, who mysteriously died, wasn't abusing her at all. He actually wasn't the father of any of her children. She just got with him for the safety net, fucked around on him, and then when it came time to retire, this motherfucker was still alive. So it was like, oh fuck that. I'm getting this life support and this life insurance and this pension. Thanks for taking care of my kids, nigga. Like, that's really what your grandma did. How about that? There was also an abundance of good fathers and husbands. I think it's important to acknowledge the full spectrum of how we existed in the past, all the bad and all the good, and teach both our daughters and sons morals. As they were examples of poor fatherhood in the past, there was also plenty of examples of poor motherhood as well. There was also examples of great motherhood, great fatherhood. We're capable of things. It's important to teach our children that we know that we're capable of these things because we've done all these things. Yes, we've done poor things, all of us, men, women, all groups, but we've all done great. God, how many? Dude, who the fuck is writing this? Y'all pause down and read that shit yourself. I'm not even reading that last sentence. This is stupid. But I get what he's saying. There's plenty of blame to go around. To act like a dude always wifed a just really, really just nice young lady. Y'all really make it seem like even in the 1950s, like these girls would just be coming off the factory line, being just handed to a nigga, right? Just here you go. That's your bitch. Go do what you may. Go ahead. Have fun. For her, she is merely an object that you control. Stop. Please stop. You mean to tell me all these stepdads, all these dudes making these simp ass songs, all these dudes, like I remember they had found a letter that a soldier back in this very time wrote to the woman who he wanted to marry. That wasn't even married yet. He wanted to marry. Touching his shit. Super romantic. Where the fuck did that come from? But no, men just are inherently just the most awful people, and we just gonna ignore all the other shit. To constantly try to paint me in the worst light you can possibly think of, fine, you got it. I don't give a fuck. I don't if I see you on the streets and it's like some guy who's actually a piece of shit is like, oh, I'm about to whoop your ass and drag this alley lady. Oh, okay. I'm also a bad guy, so I guess I'm complicit enough to just look away. Right? Got it. I got tired of hearing back in the day wives help their husbands down through whatever. Yeah, I get tired of hearing today that your mom was a single mom. Yeah, we get tired of hearing that. And see how stupid this is? Y'all get to play that same fucking card. Your mom was fat. Your mom was black. Your mom was a single mom. Your mom was X, Y, and Z. Okay, yo, granddad and dad were terrible fathers and terrible husbands. How dare you come up here and act better? Better take what the fuck you grew up with. Right? Right. You were never taught how to be a good man, only how to be entitled to a woman's loyalty. What could that possibly mean? Like, in detail, of course. Not just some blanket statement like it is, but in detail. What was he? What kind of man we talking about? The bum that women who, they, in their jokes, check female comedians, they love the bums because it's fun. We talking about that guy? We talking about the 9 to 5 guy? Talking about the rich guy? Talking about the guy who... So, question. If we're so horrible, how the hell do we get him? How? How did those guys come about? Did they just blindly believe the complaints women had and just run with it, and now they're avengers of the abused woman? Like how do we possibly get to the guys that defend women to this degree if we're just so awful? I really need to. I need that explained to me in detail. Don't give me some. Oh, he just figured it out. Or he just has empathy. No, how did he become about? Because if your story is, or your answer is, oh, because women taught him to. But that kind of sounds like grooming. Because I know damn well if a guy just raises his daughter or his niece or his granddaughter to just be that, that pick Misha that y'all call. Wouldn't y'all call that grooming? So I really need a detailed explanation of how we get him if we're just so awful and evil and want to just own and abuse women. Explain it to me. My great grandmother was married to a man that was beating her. She had 4 kids with him. She was a maid and saved all her money and built a new home for her and her children. One day when it was finished, she just packed them up, moved them without him. Oh, excuse me, on her maid's salary, she sent 2 kids to university. At the same time, other picked up a different path. She is one of the strongest, baddest, faith-filled, generous, forward-thinking women. She died the day after I defended my master's degree thesis and dedicated it to her. Love her with my whole heart, being brave, family legacy. She crawled on the tail floor so I could run in science government spaces. All right, so here's the problem with that again. She had a job that she could save up to leave. I thought they weren't allowed to. So like I said before, you weren't barred from working. You were not barred from leaving. To act as if every woman in this generation was groomed to be a fucking doormat is a lie. If you want to say the norms were preached to like not to try to keep it together as much as you possibly could, that is not the same as you were told you can't leave. That is not the same thing. And to segue, to just attach this a little bit to it, you stated that she paid for college tuition with a maid salary. And y'all really be looking at dudes today like, why y'all ain't paying all the bills by yourself? What? Cite back to this the next time you ask that old goofy ass question. Why you ain't just paying all the mortgage and all the everything by yourself with 2 cars and all the shit that they didn't have 100 years ago? Well, you college tuition is about is actually more than a salary, an average salary in America. So the numbers just don't work today. Facts. I had many bold conversations with my great and grandmothers, and the stories they shared do not fit into the romanticized idea that men seem to believe today. Keep in mind, they were all married 60 plus years. Y'all, I really would like y'all to just acknowledge that you are dealing with the problems that all of those people dealt with. All of them. All of them. The more generation you go back, the more they just abuse some hard shit. Like in the NBA, I'm a basketball fan. One of the like most common jokes that they had is like the dude that played in the 70s and 80s was like they were all like on coke. So like they were able to play like the whole season and not feel pain and shit like that. Like these past generations were not just like waking up comfortable as fuck with the bullshit we got today. Like my biggest challenge right now is what goofy shit am I gonna spend my money on? Can I make it to the gym 3 or 4 times a week? And man, please don't cancel the basketball session because I really want to hoop. Like that's my trials and tribulations today. Go back to these generations that y'all are talking about and see what the fuck that they deal with on a day-to-day basis. It was not just the dudes that had these fucking problems. All right, stop it. We grew up in the same fucking house. You mean to tell me, growing up in the same households, only the dudes turned out to be quote unquote pieces of shit. Women wasn't out here just doing fucked up shit. This is where y'all losers. This is where we stay. I don't care. A real man speaking up for women's right. Oh, okay. They missed unchecked. I see that comment a lot, so I'm assuming he said it towards the end. They miss unchecked male privilege. What is that? What is this unchecked male privilege, huh? Huh? Because even the story that y'all talking about wouldn't be unchecked male privilege. Being able to beat your wife and she stays there is not privilege. That's just some fucked up shit. That is not male privilege. Cheating on your wife with another woman is not unchecked male privilege. That is somebody who is participating with you. How the fuck is that unchecked privilege? That is another woman saying, all right, I'll join in. Like, stop it. Unchecked female privilege is you get to beat a dude over the head with a cast iron because he says some smart shit and everybody thinks it's funny. Unchecked female privilege is you get to kill your kid, but if you keep it, I gotta pay fucking child support and shit. And you also, I got like my bad. I'm watching again. But if you want to go with the unchecked male privilege, this shit is getting aggravating. I'm not about to keep just allowing for y'all to keep saying that men are bad. We're painting all men with this horrible image of, well, this past generation did it, therefore you gotta pay. We're not going to keep doing that. Fuck you. I'll go find one more. Yeah, my granny went through it. But after raising 6 kids, divorced my grandpa, she started college at age 40. Got her MS in education and taught special needs kids for 30 years. Only thing I wish she had done opened up her heart to allow a good man to love her. But the trauma from my grandpa made her never date again. She lived a fully lovely life for 94 years. I'm grateful to be her legacy. So what good man could she go be with? Are y'all admitting that you kind of use your free will to first pick the guy that wasn't so good? Is that what we're talking about again? Because if the man of that time was your grandpa, then who the fuck was the good man then that you wish you had went and got? That's what I'm talking about. Y'all get to really sit there and act like it was just nothing but bad, terrible men walking around, but also at the same time, there were good men that they had to choose from next. We're not going to give up on this, hey, wait on the sideline, and then I'll hit you up after I'm done getting beat on and having these kids. We're not going to let that narrative go. That unchecked female privilege. We're not going to let that go. Like, yeah, I'm done with this thread. Y'all can look. I'll copy it and put it in a comment section. But yeah, I'm done with this. This is aggravating. Be right, not positive. I'm out.